what's up everybody? It's Sean Falk, Milton Music Magazine. Here at Brighton's, we're gonna go check out my man Nick Tolentino from PLUSGROOVE Records. Alright, check it out. What's up people, Sean Falk here again. Just want to let you know, here with my man Nick Tolentino from PLUSGROOVE Records. Just want to see what's up, see what's happening with PLUSGROOVE, see how he's doing, what's going on. Nick, pleasure to meet you.
Hey man, pleasure's all mine.
Alright, so PLUSGROOVE Records, how did it come about? What's going on?
Oh, basically it spawned off from kind of another label that one of my closest friends, Gene King, from Shines Records, he wanted to open up his own record label, and we kind of talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that that we both wanted to, create our own record labels, since we had some tracks and our own ideas evolving from then.
So, now I see some of your influences more so on Shines Records is more of the house, old school kind of house feel, and the versus PLUSGROOVE is a little bit more R&B influenced.
Yes.
All right.
You did your homework.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have to, right?
But yeah, man, you got it spot on. Like, Gene has a lot of influences that, from Jelly Bean, Benitez, who did, the track Holiday of Madonna, produced that whole album. And from then, he was hooked into producing. So he comes from the background of disco and old school, and kind of blends that into his own ideas right now. And my own influences, I grew up, late 80s, early 90s, growing up with the old school R&B, hip hop, back in the day when breakdancing or whatever.
I hear you.
And back then, house, like true house.
Yeah.
Don't get confused with techno, because that came later. But the true house music came from, Frankie Knuckles, Masters at Work. The real soulful, type tracks. And back then, everything was, we had open minds, right?
Yeah.
So we sucked it all in, and I listened to R&B, hip hop, house, whatever, right? Had a good time. Even dance hall, right?
Yeah.
That was lit it in. So my influences came from there, and
So drop some names, some artists that were big influences on you, like.
Wow, back then it would probably be like Todd Terry. Yeah, Masters at Work. On the hip hop side, Public Enemy.
Oh, straight up.
Karis Moon. Leaders of the New School. And all that classic.
You're bringing it back for me. I like that.
Even Michael Jackson. You and I,
everybody was in the
both generations.
That's right.
So, and back then, I was always researching. Okay, what kind of sounds were there in the 70s or 60s, right? And I think that was really important for me to kind of understand how musically, how did the house sound evolve? It came from disco, right?
Yeah.
So that's basically
So, with musically, you're saying, so who creates for you? Are you the own creator, or do you create for various artists, or?
Well, nowadays it really makes it really easy to produce music on the software side and hardware side. Back then in like the 90s and beyond that, hardware is so expensive to buy. So now it's like a click of a button and you can make some tracks.
Yeah.
But understand that just don't click buttons. You gotta learn about music and how music theory comes about. So, but I mean, right now, I produce tracks. I'm very creative. I write lyrics. I try to play some songs that I like on the keyboard.
Excellent.
So, it doesn't stop there. Yeah.
So, you're saying you DJ as well?
Yeah, I started DJing in high school, like my brothers were into it, and they got me into that whole DJing thing, and I learned about it. So, and then high school, university, I do parties.
Oh yeah.
Weddings, birthdays, clubs. We used to organize and promote our own parties in Toronto.
All right.
And so continuing is strong today. So.
All right. So, well, how would you do your promotion? What kind of things, like, if I was an upcoming artist, I needed to do some promoting for myself to try and get on point. What kind of things would you tell me and help me to do, or what would you do to promote yourself?
Well, right now, the online is the most feasible way of promoting. But if you go down to New York, they still have the flyers. If you're a DJ, you got parties going on, they still have the flyers.
Yeah.
And down here in Toronto, that's non-existent basically. It's all about MySpace, Facebook, emails, your own website.
Yeah.
So that's basically how you get out there. And also networking is key.
It's huge.
It is huge. And if you could expand your social network as well as your business network, and really getting out there and trying to find really good club owners to work with, and also promoters to work with, and just surround yourself with a good team, then I think you're good to go.
All right. Now, how do you find the scene has evolved from when you started up until now? What kind of changes you face and challenges?
Well, that's a good question, because here in Toronto, there's a lot of DJs locally who used to play out, and any outside DJ from New York or whatever, like this was like back in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
They weren't really paid attention to. It's all about the local support. And then it all kind of changed late 90s, where you see the trend of promoters getting into hiring the outside DJs from New York or Chicago. And now it's kind of going back to where it was.
All right.
I'm observing, different parties and promoters supporting the local DJs.
Okay.
So, hopefully, with the promotions that and the record label behind me, it will, I guess, put it out there more into people's faces and let people know that, the credentials behind Nick Tolentino, as a person and as a DJ.